Does your puppy pull you on walks? In this video, I'm going to teach you how to train your puppy to walk calmly on a leash. For the best dog training and product advice, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified I put out a new video every Wednesday. If you're sick of your puppy walking you on your walks instead of you walking him or her, do not worry. In this video, I'm going to provide you with step-by-step instructions and really break down how to teach your puppy to walk calmly on a leash. By using this formula, you're going to have more relaxing walks with your puppy. I've proven this technique on hundreds and hundreds of puppies, and now it is your turn and your puppy's turn to start walking calmly when you go on walks. First off, if you have an extremely energetic dog, you'll want to make sure they get some of that energy out. So try going on a long hike, a long run first before you begin training. If a hike isn't feasible, you can also mentally stimulate them with a new trick. I actually put together a party trick guide that you can download, and it's 4 fun tricks to make your dog the life of the party, but also more importantly, mentally stimulate them and increase the bond between you and your puppy. Once you're ready to start training, I always recommend starting in a familiar environment, like inside your home, in your backyard, or if you live in an apartment complex, in like a courtyard of your apartment complex where they won't get overly excited. The more distracting an environment is, the harder the training is going to be. So you want to level up to more distracting situations. All right, so now we're really ready to start training. The first rule is we want to make sure if there is tension on the leash, we do not move. We don't move forward. I'm going to repeat that one more time. If there is tension on the leash, we do not move forward. So the second there is tension on the leash, you stop. We don't want to teach our puppies that pulling moves them forward. We want to teach them that pulling makes us stop and not move toward what they're trying to get toward. If there is tension on the leash, I recommend just turning around and going the other way. All right, so we're using positive reinforcement training to teach our pups to walk calmly on a leash. So the second they are doing the behavior that we want them to do, even if they might be on their way to pulling, we want to catch them before they actually start pulling. So let's say your puppy is pulling, you stop, there's tension on the leash, so you turn around and you keep walking. The second you turn around and they're still behind you and there is slack on the leash, you treat the puppy and say yes and let them know they're doing a good job. In my opinion, the most challenging part of loose leash walking is, contrary to any other training, there isn't eye contact. We want them to get used to seeing the back of us, which is not really something that they're used to. They're used to eye contact. So we want to treat and say yes every time they are behind us. In positive reinforcement, we really focus on the behaviors we do want versus the behaviors that we don't want. So don't forget to really reward your dog or your puppy when they're doing a good job. In the beginning, you might only be able to take 1 or 2 steps to really reward them and have that loose leash. But as you continue moving on with the training and being really consistent, you're going to be able to walk further without them pulling. Another thing, so you don't want to wait until there's actually tension on the leash. If you notice that your dog is going to start pulling, just turn around really quickly, ask for a sit, and then reward them. All right, so now that your puppy has mastered walking in a familiar environment, now you can level up. So now you take it 1 step further, maybe bringing them outside to the apartment courtyard or maybe just streets around your house. So they're somewhat familiar, but you're adding in more distractions. Once you're in a more distracting environment, the moment that you see another dog coming from very far away, or maybe you see a squirrel in the distance, ask for a sit, get eye contact, and get their attention before they get too overly excited. So I like to think of excitement from level 1 to level 10. So level 1 is, they're kind of excited, and level 10 is they are bonkers, they are crazy, there's not really any bringing them back. So we want to catch them at a level 1 through 4 when you can still get their attention. So the second you see that dog really far away and you know your dog goes crazy when they see other dogs, ask for a sit, get their attention, get their focus on you. By the way, I'd love to know, is there anything that your puppy just goes absolutely bonkers over? Leave a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear. I know for me, my dog Waffles is working on squirrels. She loves squirrels. So the second I see a squirrel from far away, I ask for a sit, get eye contact, and get her on board with the training versus waiting until the squirrel is darting past us and she just goes absolutely crazy. My last tip is just to be really, really consistent. Don't give up. This means anytime you're walking your dog, do not allow tension on the leash, all right? Do not allow tension on the leash. Don't give up. The second that you give in, you kind of lose all of that training. You want to stay consistent. So my dog, Ziggy, he's a little poodle mix. He's pretty smart and food motivated. I stayed consistent for 5 days. And after 5 days, he was completely walking calmly on a leash. However, I still had to work on squirrels and things like that. But in general, he was walking loose on a leash, so not pulling. That being said, every dog is different. Some dogs might take a month of being consistent, but you know what? It's totally worth it when your dog is walking calm on a leash. It's so much more relaxing, and walking your dog on a leash can actually be a pretty meditative process. It can be time for you to stay present. We spend a lot of times on our phones all day. I think they said the average is 6 hours per day that Americans use their phone, which is insane. So really spend this time. That's my other tip, is spend this time walking your dog to really stay present and in the moment. And that'll help you bond with your dog better than just being on your phone. It's also not safe to be on your phone because you should be looking where you're walking. If you like this video, like, comment, and share. I would love to hear what you thought and what tips you found helpful. Like I said earlier, I put out a new video every week, so I will see you next Wednesday.